promised myself I was going to cut down on uploading videos once I got through the last lot, but as it happens, 8.11 has hit, and I got a lot of things that I actually kind of want to show. So, well, of course this video probably won't be out until 8. Or 9.0, even 9.1, but that's how slow internet goes. So here's an Object 430 match. This is the new Redshire. It looks vaguely familiar, but the terrain is actually a lot different. There's now a canyon down the zero line instead of just that solid TD ridge, and the hill here is divided into 3 parts, which quite severely changes gameplay in itself, never mind the fact that the spawns and therefore caps have been moved to the north and south center of the map respectively. So I pop up on this part of the hill, once where I used to sit with my Centurion and snipe across the K line and try and get some shots off of these guys. Managed to get one into the 50B, but he backs off after taking a huge amount of damage from several tanks. So now I need to work my way around. Now this is the first time I played this map since the patch. I think I might have played it once on test. So I didn't really know what to do. Nobody really knew what to do. I still don't really know what to do actually. So we took the near hill, I guess, and then because it seems the team's now much more inclined to take the hills in the center, like north takes the north hill, south takes the south hill, and they fight over the middle one. So it seems to work, and there's a fair amount of cover here, so why not run with it? Hardest pushes into the enemy and quickly gets surrounded, but manages to get the bat chat. JP here is crested on a hill. I would very much like to keep him there, so I put a tracking shot in, and because he's rid up on the hill, it actually pens through the underside of one of his hull panniers and damages him. So now it's just a case of working down these guys while using as much cover as I can. And of course trying to keep Hardest alive. King Tut dives in to help him directly while I look for a more secure route to get around. Accidentally smack into our 103. So here I have some okay shots at these guys. The 121 puts a shot into my track in exchange for one through his hull, and then he backs off. Now I got the JPE. Of course that shot whiffs completely, it was very badly aimed. Hardest still up, although he's quite low on health. King Tut's up and actively helping him. So I figure I got a little bit of time to play around here and try and find a way to break this deadlock. Obviously I can't really just crest over the hill. If I get tracked up there I'm completely fucked, and I have barely any gun depression, 5 degrees. What I do have is camo and mobility. So I come up here and spot this tortoise, he doesn't see me, and I put a side shot into him. Now he knows he's being shot, but he has no idea where from. So I worry that he might be trying to blind fire at me, and then I spot this guy. Unfortunately he pulls into cover before I can get a shot off. I would very much like to put one into him, but instead it goes to the tortoise, bounces. Such is life when dealing with the tortoise. My third shot actually does pen him, and then he begins turning around. He obviously knew where I was, but he didn't know exactly where to shoot, so I got a bit lucky with that shot and got it through him, and now he's backed off into camouflage. This guy is behind a hill in dead ground where I can't hit him. Hardest just went down. Obviously he couldn't hold out there forever against so many of the enemy team. And now it's up to myself and King Tut to try and ensure this is a win. So the enemy still have 4 mediums, 3 T10s, 1 T9, and 2 very large scary tank destroyers, plus another large would-be scary tank destroyer if he wasn't off on the opposite corner of the map being useless. Enemy 5 is on the back. A good way to use your heavy tank, hide behind mediums. Said nobody ever. Bit of bad driving there. And now I'm looking for a way to work around this pattern and get shots into him without either being E5'd or having to worry about gun depression issues. I see a shot on this guy instead, so I take it. King double taps him for the finisher. I was going to dive on the pattern, but between the E5 and the 183 looking, I decided against it. It would not have ended well if I'd crested that hill. In fact, I'm lucky I didn't get hit while I was up there fighting. So T-54 runs in to circle our JB 100. (62As) on the far corner of the map. And now with the 183 down, thanks to our arty, I decide to get in there and get up in this pattern business. Fortunately, I snapshot. It was very, very bad of me. It did bounce, of course. That shot on the 121 could have been aimed a little better. It may have still bounced, but you know, just need to not panic so much. Managed to dispatch the pattern with a side shot as he foolishly comes bucketing around the corner, not even looking at me. And then King Tut manages to work the 121 while he is distracted. And apparently that constitutes luck in the puppy vernacular. The E5 is crossing the field. I was initially going to go for the tortoise first, simply because I figured he'd be a much easier target to work over than the E5. I thought the E5 was going to go for the riverbank, but instead the E5 turns and cuts across the open field, chasing after myself and King Tut. So obviously we're going to have to deal with him. What I should have done here was hook around the right of this building. Instead I hook around the left, directly into his waiting gun. I could have afforded the hit there, but if he had hit my ammo rack or set me on fire or something, it could have been a different story. But we managed to double team on him. Noticed he was firing heat. I've noticed a lot of shit pubbies will load gold when they see blues or purples, even if they don't need it. King Tut gets hit by the bat 155, and then it's just the tortoise and the arty left. So I've done just over 3k damage so far, not too bad. Still got most of my hit points actually, which is also pretty good, especially for me. Tortoise is behind a building for now. I'm trying to scoot around the back before somebody else can bag him, but not so lucky. Our JPE gets a shot there. So instead I work around the hill here trying to spot the arty. I figure he's either going to be to my right, tucked up in the corner there, or in front of me. Chances of him being way off to the left and not having been spotted so far are pretty low. And sure enough, up in A8. So I stop. My first shot misses because I didn't wait for aim bloom. Once again, never snapshot. My second shot, I wait long enough and it manages to hit him. So, not a bad game. If you haven't, say if you've taken a break from the game or something, you haven't seen the remade Redshire yet, this is what it looks like. What it's meant to play like, I have no fucking idea. I don't think anybody does. We're all just throwing things to the wall and seeing what sticks at the moment, which is generally how you have to roll with this kind of thing. But suffice to say, the changes to the map are so drastic, the old strats aren't really going to work anymore. There are some superficial resemblances, like you can still push tanks down the one line from north, or take K2 from south, because I think that fold in the terrain is still there. Or, you know, put a scout under the hill in G4, G5, but because of the way the hills are structured now, it's a lot easier, and because it's easier, it's generally what pubs do, to just south team goes south hill, north team goes north hill, everyone has a giant clusterfuck of a battle in the middle of the map for the middle hill, and some people who are smart enough to not drive into the massive furball of stupidity snipe shots in from the side. That's what it seems to be at the moment. But it's early days, so we'll see how the meta on it evolves. I expect the pubbies will come up with spectacularly fucking idiotic things for this map, just as they do every other map, and just as they did back before it was changed.